Going on today, I have another video for you where I have a 92.4% accuracy. Had a very good game. It is shorter because I played so good. I got over in the beginning. Let's get to it. I go g4, they go pawn to e6, I go bishop f4, knight here to f6, and pawn to e3. The Indian game opening. Now this is more responsible what black plays. I play the London system, but the London system is obviously dependent on their response. So their response creates this being called the Indian game. So I played this a lot of times, but in most of the times I assume I had the similar setup with the d4, pawn on d4, bishop on f4, pawn on e3. They go pawn here to a6, I go bishop to d3, pawn to c5, pretty normal stuff. They do make some different moves during the game that throw me off. I go c3, knight to c6, pawn to h3, and pawn here to h5, which I immediately was like, that's wrong. I played this opening as you saw, or I keep forgetting I changed how to do this. You cannot see that I played it that many times, but I played it a lot. So I do know, not that I'm like an expert or anything, but I know like the basic principles. As you know, chess is mostly pattern recognition, and this pattern was not recognizable for me, and I kind of assumed this was incorrect, and I felt pretty confident from here on out. So, and then with chess is very psychological. It's a game like everything else. It's not a sport, obviously. You know, football, basketball, baseball, football, like soccer. They're all different than chess. They're physical activities, but the mental side I feel is similar. I was very confident from this point on. Now, whether it was rightfully so, and this time it is, and there's some times where it isn't. But because of that confidence, I play a bit better. Like, okay, I belong. I deserve to win this game, or a feeling that I should win this game based off some of their moves. But I go here, knight f3. Not even the best response, but at this point, I'm riding high on the fact that I know that's wrong. And obviously, I make mistakes. You see my videos. I make my fair share. So it's not to say that I'm impervious to those moves, but I was feeling confident nonetheless. They go pawn here to b6, I go knight b to d2, bishop to b7, and knight to c4. As I just mentioned, I make mistakes myself. I don't regret this move though. I am still winning. If you see, you can't see the eval bar. I'm still winning. I'm plus 0.69 right now. Sorry, I'm usually show that, but I made an editing decision to not show that anymore. Took up a lot of the screen. But I went this move, this square knight to c4, because I want to go knight here to d6. I felt that it was a very good square to check. Well, not a very good square. It was a very good square, but I want to do it to check. They take, I take, and stop their castle. That was my initial plan. But after d5, I realized that maybe there's a little bit more. Well, first I have to move knight c to e5. Had to get out the way. And now I'm looking at the f7 pawn as I see I can attack with the g5 knight. However, I cannot do that automatically. They go pawn to c4. I go bishop c2. And I'm like, man, maybe I should have gotten a4. I messed up a bit. And they go b. Well, I think that after they go b5, like, oh man. But I just castle, admitting I can't really do anything now. But after b4, I realized that the game is over after bishop to a4. Now, the computer gave this a great move. The phone is not as impressed. It says this is the best move. This is a very good move because they cannot protect it with anything other than the rook and the queen. They choose the queen here. The queen over was better. Now, I'm pretty sure the rook doesn't work. Why doesn't it work? Because I also, during the game, was like, oh, they can't go rook over. I think it doesn't work because, I don't remember. Maybe in the comments, if you know, you can let me know. I can't remember why the rook doesn't work, but it just is not as good as the queen for some reason that I did know because I knew they were going to do that, but I cannot remember right now. But they go queen to b6. I go knight here to g5, attacking this weakness on f7 as I mentioned. And this is just a beautiful position. Like, there's just not much they can do here. They go rook h6. I take the pawn with the knight. Now, I thought for a while about which one to take with. I ultimately decided with the e knight for, I'd say, one reason. And that's because I want to go knight here to d6, checking the king, getting rid of the dot bishop. An idea I mentioned earlier in the game to stop. Well, this one doesn't really stop castling. They still queenside castle. But I like the getting the bishop in and then bishop to c5, and I'm just doing whatever I want to their position. So that's why I chose that knight, but the other knight was better. Nonetheless, or either way, they're very good moves, but I choose the worst one. They go rook to g6, and here I think for a little bit I go h4, which is the second best move. The reason you want to go h4 is you want to have freedom to maneuver all your pieces. That includes the knight on f7, the bishop on f4, the knight here on g5 even. And the reason you can't freely remove right now is because they are all somewhat dependent on one another. So I go h4, so the knight is no longer dependent on the bishop or the knight, and those pieces can move freely. And again, their knight is restricted due to this pin. So they go knight to g4, which is the best move, and I go pawn here to f3, which is the second best move. Now here, I completely miss attacking the rook. To be honest with you, It doesn't win it, but it is definitely a better position. I just went F3 because I was looking the whole time at just knight back here, positional move, attacking the rook, and it's so bad they decided to just castle, and the position is also so bad that the castle is the third best move, and when they drop a rook for free, like it's not a blunder, like they're already losing so bad. Here it's like, well, it's only a little bit different of losing because now it went from 4.68 to 6.06, so it's still losing. So I take the rook, they take the pawn, I take the pawn. Now I considered taking the bishop first, but it doesn't work. So I believe it's called an intermezzo move. They could do c captures b2, and I have to move my rook, then they could take the bishop back, so I lose a pawn. I mean, I probably still win, but it's just unnecessary to make risks like that. After queen to a5, knight captures e6, another move that is like destroying their position. I'm going to win another piece. It's going to be the bishop or the rook. If they move the rook, I'll take the bishop, then move the bishop, I'll take the rook, so it'll be an exchange sacrifice. But here they just do not see that this bishop's protected, and they go to take it, which is the second best move, which is also like kind of depressing, considering the position, a bit depressing. That's the second best move. I take the queen, and they resign afterwards. That was a quick game. I'm in 1971 right now, so almost back to 2000. I'm starting to feel the juices flowing a little bit more. An issue I was having since I've been getting back to playing a lot more is simple tactics and time management, which, as far as problems go, I would say are the best. When I have to convert something, I can convert it, so at least that skill hasn't left me. But I'll take too long on a move just thinking through it, so I'll be in time trouble. So there are a lot of games I probably should have won had I used time better, but you know, there's a lot of what ifs in chess, and I can't. That's part of it. I have to use my time better, and I'm trying to work on that. And then simple tactics. I've been doing a lot of puzzles recently to try and fix that problem, and I've seen that it has improved a bit. But I was just missing simple things, which again is a better thing than missing the more complex stuff, because I could see some of the harder things. It was the one or two move tricks that I was falling for and was plummeting my rating. And not to say that I won't ever plummet again. I hope I don't, but you know, it will happen. I do feel that the things I'm plummeting are more practice and repetition than it is my actual skill. I think my skill is still around that 2100. And yeah, I've been yapping, so I'll cut this video. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a good day.